Hey, how y'all doing out there today in YouTube land? I'm outside today. I'm going to try to speak up so you can hear me on this crappy, internal mic on this Dell. But I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate the new subscribers, and it's it's about time to get into Escape from the Hotel California, Chapter 4. I'd like to preface it by saying I'm on their radar again. And, I mean, it's not that I never left. What I mean by who is the devil people. They're just letting me know that they know that I'm making videos. And also, if you're interested, I made a 2-hour interview with Ed Opperman. He's found online. He does podcasts about conspiratorial, JFK conspiracy theories, and all that good stuff. But, so if you wanted to check that out, and if he tries to charge you $1.99 for it, in the comment section of this video, drop me your email address and I'll link it to you. Anyway, yeah, lots happened in the past few weeks. Things I'd rather not get into. I try not to live in fear, but I often think of it as a targeted individual who also has a nationwide satanic cult after him. I've grown 2 eyes in the back of my head, and I try to be like a wolf, knowing everything that's going on around me at all times. So that being said, yeah, it's been a rough past few weeks. Without getting into it, a few strange things happened, but could have been coincidence. It could have been, gang stalkers, or the devil people. For example, I got a strange phone call from Los Angeles, and there's my water here. And when I went to do a reverse trace on the number, it didn't exist. I also got a comment on one of my videos warning me to stop, and I replied never. I'm going to preface this next section by saying, just imagine, okay? Just imagine your father passing away, okay? In middle of December, right? By the middle of January, you're in California with a small life insurance policy. And your plan is to take this screenplay that you've been working on for years and cash in on it, because you know that you have $1 million screenplay, and I say that in humility. Also say, as I said in my other videos, that I can't dare say that the screenplay itself is demonically inspired, but it came from another place, let's put it that way. Okay, the reaction of people that I had read it was extreme, to say the least, in positive and negative. So trying to relax here. This next section is pretty traumatic for me. I had post-traumatic stress syndrome as a result of this last, I want to say, January 14th till, I take that back. February 14th is when I landed in LA, or a couple days before, okay, in Los Angeles and Hollywood, from Chico, okay, by way of Bend, Oregon, okay, and I was getting real tired, and I was running out of money, and I was getting desperate. And I realized that these people were not stopping. Okay? They were going to great lengths. You know, I had a discussion with somebody. It's easy to kill somebody. You know. It's even harder, though, to get away with it. But to capture somebody alive so they could take them to a secret location like the desert or a cellar somewhere and torture them to death, that's a little trickier. And that's what these devil people found out. That it's not so easy, especially when you have the living God on your side. It says in Romans, I believe 8:37, if God be for us, who could be against us? You know, David said, if I have 1,000 on my left and 10,000 on my right, I will not fear, you know, my enemy. But yeah, like I said, you can probably tell it's hard for me to even relate this because it's quite horrifying. At this point in the game, I realized that these people were stopping at nothing to get me. And they were running me like a rabbit across the state of California, back and forth. Finally, I made it to Los Angeles. And when I made it to Los Angeles, like an idiot, I chased a girl to Venice Beach, California. Unbeknownst to me, Venice Beach, California is a headquarters, what's loosely called the Brotherhood, or Luciferians, or Warlocks, or Witches, or Wiccans, or Druids, or whatever you want to call them, whatever stripe you want to paint them with. They still serve the forces of darkness. They still serve the God of this world. All right? And I ended up getting stuck, okay, in Venice. And I might have said, I think I mentioned in my other video, or I can't remember. No, it might have been the Ed Opperman interview. Okay, I'm stuck in Venice. I think all is peachy clean. You know, everything is peachy. You know, I got away from these people. You know, I'm gonna stay here for a day or two in Bold and get my my Irish ass back to Jersey where I belong. Right? I go out to eat right on the boardwalk there in Venice, and I get a burger, a couple of beers, fries, and after I finish my meal, I sit there. It's sparsely, populated. There might be 2 or 3 or 4 people in there, maybe. So I go and I eat my food, drink a couple more beers, tap pints, and I started to feel funny. Now, since a teenager, I've done a lot of drugs, especially in my youth. Everything from PCP, LSD, ecstasy, cocaine, powder, crack, heroin, marijuana, of course, hash, all of it, at different, periods of my youth. Okay? It's only by the grace of God that Christ healed my mind after I was born again, because by the age of 21, of course, and alcohol. So by the age of 21, I was completely fried. Okay? Completely fried. So, glory to God, he healed my mind. So back to Venice Beach, California. It didn't take me long to realize that there was something in the food and drink that I was consuming. Okay? I'm going to kind of gloss over maybe an hour at that place. Believe it or not, I actually met, I think I might have mentioned it, a member of Metallica's wives. And if you're a Metallica fan, you realize that one member of the band has roots in Venice. And by the way, his wife was gorgeous. She was fine. So she invites me to a party. I'm realizing as the minutes go by that, my brain is, if your brain's like a clock, it slowed it down, and it brought confusion. But it was unlike any other drug that I've ever consumed. But I assumed probably rightly, that it was designed to get a victim incapacitated enough so they could pull up in a van and throw him in the back of the van. Okay. Like an idiot at the bar. Okay, I had a few beers in me. I wanted some weed, so I asked somebody at the bar where I can get some weed instead of just selling me some. Right? He sends me off to this Nile marijuana dispensary place, right? Not 4, 5, 6 blocks off the ocean, the boardwalk. Meanwhile, this cat that's texting on his phone the whole time, I noticed that he's taking my pens. Me being a writer, I had a small notebook and pens in my jacket, my Carhartt jacket. And I noticed as I looked up from, after taking a pull off my drink, my pen was gone. And I had about 3 pens, and later I realized that they were all gone because they were making their move that night, and they didn't want me to have anything on me that looked like a weapon. Okay, so like an idiot, I figured, well, they can't poison me at the marijuana dispensary. No, how can they do that? So yes, they did. I bought 3 blunts, and as I bought the 3 blunts, as I walk into the inner sanctum, you had to go through into a vault almost, into 3 different rooms, and fill out give them your card, which I purchased earlier on the beach. Okay, should have seen this doctor, all dressed in black like Dracula. Oh, you got this matter with you? Back pains? All right, this is the good pot for you. You could have, Proto plants and have, 6 ounces on you at all times. Okay, cool. So I go ahead to this Nile place. I was under so much stress that I assumed wrongly that a few beers and a couple of joints would calm my nerves. But little did I know that they were poisoned. I walk into the Nile, into the inner sanctum, and he's standing there with this man, John. If I had to guess, he was probably close to 30. He looked like he could have been ex-military. He also looked like a drug abuser and user, and he also looked like a killer. And it was funny as, and he was big, by the way, too, but not as big as me. But anyway, we stare each other down like 2 prize fighters, staring each other down, looking at each other, sizing each other up. They hand him a bag of weed, and when he puts it in his jacket, I noticed that underneath his T-shirt, underneath his army jacket T-shirt, he had a bulletproof vest on. And I also could tell that he had a sidearm, okay, hidden underneath this oversized black army jacket with a black baseball cap on. Never forget it. So I get this weed. We walk outside together. Now all of a sudden, this asshole, is on me, excuse my French, fly on shit. I can't get rid of him. So I'm thinking to myself, well, here's the test. This asshole standing next to me. We're in some alleyway in Venice, California. Let me light one of these joints I just bought and see if it's poison. And sure enough, I take a couple big pulls. I hand it to him. His eyes got big, wide, and bug-eyed, okay? And I watched him pull that smoke into his mouth and then blow it out with an inhale in his lungs. So I knew I was doomed. I knew. So, and then we were in this alleyway while this is going on. A truck full of Mexicans in the back of a black pickup goes down this alleyway. They're staring us down, vice versa. They're especially locking eyes with John. And I didn't know what to do. I'm trying to shake this guy. So I said, all right, well, I'll see you later. I'm going to a bar. Well, I'll go with you. I'll buy you a drink. Drinks were poison there, too. Okay? And then Yeah, John's making comments while we're walking from, the Nile dispensary to this bar. He says, I'm a creep because I'm going to bury you, under his breath. He also said, man, you're a big MFer, man. I'm going to have to punch you in the throat. He made those comments, and I heard him. He said them, with his head turned under his breath, but I heard him. And then another clue, which I mentioned in one of my other videos, I think, was that this gal King that I shortly got involved with and got that apartment with up in Chico, California, was once on the phone. And I asked her, who were you on the phone with? And she said, my brother, John, from Las Vegas. And guess where this cat John, who I'd met in Venice, was from? Las Vegas. So I assumed that they farmed out this so-called hitman, okay, to facilitate incapacitating me so they could put me in a van. Right? So I go to this bar with him, I have a drink, and I just look at him squarely, that street thing, like, I'm rolling, see ya, and I just start walking. Now, unfortunately, these drugs incapacitated me to the point where I could not negotiate a city or a city block, left. I couldn't do that. Okay, it didn't help that the little shithole of Venice Beach is a maze. Okay, it's a maze of I think there's a couple of circles there. It's commonly referred to in Jersey as traffic circles and crossways and one-ways, and I was in bad shape. And like a Stephen King novel, I start panicking and going into every open liquor store, restaurant, any place I could find, to try to get some help. Well, guess what? Surprises of surprises. The whole town was in on it. They knew who I was, they knew what was going on, and they were facilitating it. I walk into a liquor store, I ask this witchy woman wearing black with long black hair, middle-aged, do you have a phone? No. Do you have a phone book? No. Can you help me? No. And I'm like, really? Really? So I have her grab a fifth of Smirnoff off the shelf. I'm assuming, that it could, all the Smirnoff bottles there weren't poison. And I made sure she grabbed it off the front, not some back box. So I put it in my Carhartt, jacket. And I'm walking in circles. I run into this girl at a bus stop, right, on the phone. I'm in a complete panic now. I said, hey, I need to use your phone to call 911, right? She said, no. I said, where's this bus going? I need to get out of here. She said, I don't know. Then, in my process of going around the block another time, I look up that same block, and she's running. She's running, okay? She's running like a marathon, okay? She's hauling it away from me, okay? So, in a complete panic, I go around the corner. I see a cop in tactical gear, believe it or not, and we gave each other the hairy eyeballs. And having been in jail, I kept my hands in my front pockets like I had weapons in there. Okay? Better them to think that I had weapons than me with my hands out of my pockets, knowing that I don't have any weapons. Okay? Ready to roll, ready to rock. I did have, I did have a pair of keys between my fingers and whatever. Some of this, if I told you the whole rundown, it'd take me 10 hours, of everything that happened. So, what do? I go around the corner. Who's standing there eating a taco? But John, right? I'm like, you mother effer, man. I said, I'm doomed, man, I'm doomed. So I walk past him, Said, see you later. And up on the corner, I looked it up online. It's called The Speakeasy. It's right on the boardwalk, and right adjacent to it is another bar. I couldn't get the name of it. All I saw at night was what looked like a neon Al Capone smoking a hooter on the sign outside of the bar. Now, as I walk up, there is these three guys, okay? They were big. They were like wrestling good. Dressed in trench coats, so I'm assuming they were holding, right? Packing, whatever. And they were looking over, smirking at me. So I said, well, I looked to the left, we looked at that dark, big, cadaverous bar, and then I looked at them, and I looked to the right to the speakeasy place. I walk in there, walk to the back of the bar, and order a beer. Next thing you know, the whole bar starts, little by little, hooting and hollering. And it's funny because there's I want to say chapter 27 of Psalms, but there is a psalm where the enemies of David say, look at him now. He trusted in God. There's no way he could escape now. Look at him. He's God's son. And they all chanted it and derided God and derided me. He can't escape. There's no escape. And even one of them clowns, okay, he made a comment, oh man, I'm going to shoot a crossbow arrow into his ass. Yeah. All while this is happening, I'm staring at some Houston basketball game in a trance, listening to every word that they're saying, okay, even every move they make, every corner of my eye, at the same time with my left eye, staring up as if I had money on that game, okay, trying to completely ignore them, okay. I had this guy John outside. I had these three killer bouncer-looking psychos right outside, okay. I'm drugged. I'm cornered, okay. Oh, and by the way, right when I saw that cop, right before I saw John on that corner, a van slowly went by, real slow. Okay, and that's, of course, thankfully I had my hands in my pockets and a weapon in my right hand, so when they came at me, the first one was going to get it, okay? Now, I'm going to get into some stuff that, if you were in my position, I don't condone any of the thought processes I had, but I was scared shitless, and, my thought in my mind was I wasn't going down like that. I wasn't going down like that. Especially, everyone has to die, right? But especially my niece, my two nieces, and my nephew, and my brother and sister not knowing whatever happened to me. That thought in my head hurt worse than the thought of me dying. Or even being tortured and killed. Torture only lasts for a season. So, I go into this bar, and they're mocking God, mocking Christ, mocking me, threatening me with violence. So I had two plans. Plan A was to pull this bartender aside, sternly, Jersey style, like it's gonna hurt, okay? You're gonna get me a cab now. I want a cab within 15 minutes outside this bar right now. And he didn't want to hear it. He's saying, oh, sometimes cabs come out and this and that. I gave him the 1,000-yard stare, and I said, you are going to produce a cab for me in 15 minutes. Okay, all right, okay. Within 22 minutes, if that cab had not showed up, I was going to take an empty bottle of beer, jump over the bar, or get behind the bar, smash in the back of the head the bartender as hard as I could, and then proceed to smash all the liquor bottles behind that bar, probably with a pool stick, and then burn it up. Burn all of us up. But not after locking the place. Here I was, these people had drugged me, and their plans were to torture me and kill me. And I'm out of my mind on some psychoactive substance, okay, that they poisoned me with. And I didn't know what else to do. This hitman had guns and a bulletproof vest. I'm in trouble. I'm in third level trouble. Trouble that I never, I had been in little trouble, in my hometown there in Trenton, New Jersey. But I had never been in any trouble like this. Thankfully, God, thank you that cab showed up. And interestingly enough, with my screenplay called 13 Years Later, it was the 13th of February. Guess what number of this cab was? 13. The bartender goes out to the cabbie, talks to him for 5 minutes. I get in. And I still don't know what to do. I figured I'd go to a motel room in Hollywood, drink the vodka, and try to come up with some kind of plan. Okay? I have the cabbie take me to some Hollywood motel. I don't know, it was actually a hotel. Okay, tiny rooms for $100 a night. The woman writes Sean Leary right on the side of it, real big letters, and it was room. Guess what? 213. I go in the room, I'm pacing back and forth for about maybe 45 minutes, taking little nips off this vodka, trying to figure out what to do. I knew I had to flush these people out. I knew if I was going to survive, I needed to literally flush them out. So, with my money dwindling, okay, my father's life insurance money dwindling, after spending $100 on this motel, realizing that I was probably going to be killed in that motel, or soon thereafter, I got another cab. And I basically hijacked the cab. Not in the true sense of strong arming or carjacking, but I told the guy to head up 101 North out of the city. And I told him, when I tell you to stop, you're going to stop. And whatever drugs they had given me made me drowsy. And I knew he was part of them, because as we got farther and farther up to whatever they are, the Santa Anas, towards Antelope Valley, up there towards Lancaster, California, he was flashing his high beams at other cars going the other direction. He tried to pull off on some dirt road at some point. There was people following us, okay? And I ended up paying him $500 or $600 for that cab ride. I had him take me right to a motel in the parking lot. I jumped out. I barely had enough money for the room. I found a pen or pens in the office, okay, of this hotel, okay, which was now in Lancaster, California, whatever it was, hundreds of miles north of Los Angeles. And I had night terrors during the night. I hardly slept, and in my hand was one of those ballpoint pens, and I actually stabbed it with such force that I stabbed it through the mattress, and it exploded. So I woke up. The good Lord woke me up early. I didn't sleep. And I sat real silently in that motel room there in Lancaster, California. And I heard voices. I heard a door to my left, the room to my left, the door opened and closed. I heard two voices, one go by each other. And I heard a voice stand outside my door and said, "He's still sleeping." No. He's in there sleeping. I forget what he said. He's in there sleeping. I didn't make a sound, right? So, I had these Camels. I'm like these L&Ms I'm smoking now. And I had these Camels, and I'm chain smoking. and I hear the voice of the Lord. And the Lord's voice told me, wait. So about 45 minutes went by, and I changed some of my camels, and I waited. And then I heard the shower go on, the pipes throughout the place, real loud. The shower actually went on in the room to the left of me. I heard another still small voice of the Holy Spirit. Go. So I opened the door as quietly as I could, like a ninja, barely closed it, went down the stairs, jigged and jagged, and was up the street. Actually, truck going by. Interestingly enough, I ended up in a Mormon church and school, I don't know, parking lot or something. So I sat there, kind of tried to figure out what to do. I knew there was a Greyhound bus stop in Lancaster, okay? But I was having problems, okay, with taxi drivers, okay? So I ended up on a train back to Los Angeles. I knew once in Los Angeles, downtown, I can get a Greyhound bus all the way back to New Jersey, okay? I had just enough money for that ticket. Just enough. That's it. So I turn around and I get to the Greyhound station on this train. And guess what? John is standing across the way, maybe 80 yards away from me, okay? And he's talking to some people. I had already bought my ticket, and they knew that ticket was sending me right to one place, Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay? They were kind of, high-fiving each other. I'll see you later. He jumps in a white Ford pickup truck with Nevada plates. Okay? I'm there. I got people. I'm outside smoking cigarettes in a little courtyard out there in downtown LA at the Greyhound station. I got people offering me drugs. I got people offering me, of course, weed. I got people offering me alcohol. I got people offering me food. Even to buy me food from the cafeteria inside. And they knew that I knew that they had been drugging me, and I'm not consuming anything from them. Okay? I go inside maybe about 4. Oh, yeah, this is the good part, too. This is after 9/11. This is one of the largest, cities in America, Los Angeles. And the two security guards are standing there, looking wrong, okay, waving everybody through. Not waving them with their metal detectors. Not making them take, all their stuff out of their pockets. Not searching their bags. Nothing. And they waved me right through, too. So I knew right then and there that I was screwed, okay? Then I'm sitting there waiting, okay? This guy in this orange, kind of safety jacket, who more than likely was a Greyhound driver, turns to me, an evil voice says, "You can't do nothing." All right? I'm like, whoa. Then a few minutes go by, and I'm overhearing this guy on the phone, and I could overhear him. And his basic idea of the conversation was, yeah, it's all set. It's all set up. He's here right now. He's going to be in Vegas in such hours. The cops are waiting there for him. He's done. So I knew then and there that if I made it to Vegas, I was going to die. I knew it. I was dead. I figured later that they were going to sniff me with drug dogs, handcuff me, throw me in the back of an unmarked van, and take me out to a hole in the desert. Okay? So at this point, I'm in terror. I didn't know what to do other than to turn to Jesus Christ and ask him for help. I'm out here outside with the extension cord. I just wanted to let all my subscribers know, and the people that watch my channel. I know it's been a long time coming for a new video. I apologize for that. I'll attempt to make new videos sooner, more often, I should say. So, you all have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this. And this is Lone Irish signing out.